Ding, ding. Round two, everybody. Or if you haven't heard our blood sport coverage, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's the Radulich and Broadcasting Network Alternative Commentary Series. Tonight, we are providing alternative commentary for Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin.
Oh, that hurts me.
What have I done now?
Mispronounced that gentleman's name badly.
Tyson Fury versus Mike Smith.
Otto Wallin.
Wallin, okay. I think I can remember.
I believe he's Swedish.
He is from Sweden. Did you know I like meatballs?
I walked right into it, didn't even think about it. I feel like an idiot.
It was like a bucket of Swedish water propped right on the door.
Hey, GSP's in attendance. For him.
Damn. All right, take two. We'll fix it in post. Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin. I'm Mark Radulich, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified. And joining me tonight, of course, is the man who provides your 411 MMA coverage, the host of Damn You Hollywood, and a pretty cool fruit who really knows where his towel's at, Robert Winfree. How do you do, sir?
I still don't understand that reference. You've used it several times. I know it's a thing. I just have no context for it outside of you stringing words together. Anyway.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay.
That's where that's from. All right. So here's what SportingNews.com tells me. Tyson Fury at 28-0-1 and 20 KOs made short work of Tom Schwartz, which we also did coverage for. Winning by second round TKO. It was a short night for the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, and for Tyson Fury for that matter. But
Tyson Fury made a lot more money than we did.
Yeah, he did. So Tyson Fury wanted to stay active despite having a rematch scheduled for February against WBC titleist Deontay Wilder, should the American slugger get by Luis Ortiz in the fall. Many of the top contenders had bouts locked in or refused to take on Fury, so the Gypsy King turned to Wallin. Wallin?
Sure.
Damn it. One more time.
Look, you do what you're going to do. I'll react accordingly. Don't worry about it.
I thought Wallin was closer than Wallin, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
All right. Wallin at 20-0 and 13 KOs is competing for the first time on second time on U.S. soil. In April, he went to a no-contact contest with Nick Kisner in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He was set to fight B.J. Penn, but B.J. Penn got into a bar fight. So instead, he was set to fight B.J. Flores on July 12th. But the Washington State Department of Licensing refused to grant a license to Flores, citing medical reasons. So that's where we are. So, what do you know about our Swedish friend here, besides that he likes meatballs?
Look, I said this about Tom Schwarz when he fought Tyson Fury. It's heavyweight. There's a lot of mass being thrown around. You're a fool to completely discount anyone. However, I feel pretty confident 90% discounting will end. Look, Fury's he's a massive favorite. We're talking at one point I think 25-1. So I'm not alone in this assessment. And look, I don't think Wallin has much of an angle of attack. Tyson Fury is a technician. Awkward technician, but a technician. He's good defensively. He might be the best defensive heavyweight in the world right now. And while he does not have, one punch knock you out power necessarily, he's a big enough guy that, if he hits you, you're going to feel it. He's good about breaking you down. He's superbly conditioned. And he's, in my estimation, the best heavyweight boxer in the world at the moment. And I don't want to say Wallin is full on pig hostage here, but
well, that's what I was starting to think as you were talking and as I was reading about this fight, that they found a guy that yes, is not a pig hostage, but they found a guy to stick in there so that Tyson Fury could remain active, keep the title, and headline a show somewhere being distributed by someone.
Yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. He just wants to stay busy. He gets another tune-up fight, basically. I mean, again, we can call a spade here. It's not that Wallin is a terrible fighter. He's not. There's much worse fighters than him. But there is a marked difference in demonstrated ability between these two at this point in time.
So I've walked away from my computer. I'm sitting down on my couch watching this, and I can't remember if Deontay Wilder is locked into anything. I know
he has another fight coming up. Yes,
he does. Okay, so you figure
I forget the name of the guy. I will look it up.
Okay, so Deontay Wilder's busy. Anthony Joshua has a rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. in Saudi Arabia in December, I believe. And I think after that we're running out of heavyweights. I mean, there's the odd international cruiser intercontinental heavyweight somebody roaming around somewhere. But
I think that's okay. I think he was getting a rematch with Luis Ortiz in September of this year. Let me double check that. Yeah, I believe that's still currently the plan.
Who's distributing that?
Schmagegi? The internet. I don't know.
Schmagegi, the internet. Good.
I don't know. Look, again, a lot of that's going to depend on where you are in the world. You know, if you're it's on BT Sport if you're in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it'll be on pay-per-view here. I forget which network he's attached to, but
well, I want to say his last one or two fights, at least one of his last fights was on Showtime.
Then sure, let's go ahead and assume Showtime.
All right, I will figure this out at some point. But we see Tyson Fury decked out.
He is doing an homage to the great Mexican fighters, specifically like Julio Chavez, both senior and junior, would kind of come out with the headband and the poncho like that.
Donald Cerrone.
Hang on. I might have just made a giant ass of myself. Hang on.
Probably. Donald Cerrone came out looking like one of the Three Amigos tonight, prior to getting knocked the hell out by Justin Gaethje. How did the rest of the card go over on the UFC?
I
understand one person did a gymnastics routine.
Yep. That did not go well. He gassed and lost. Well, he missed weight.
Uh-huh.
He gassed out and then lost the fight. Missed out on the fight of the night bonus, which was given to that card because Dana White likes the Young Bucks. I don't know. It baffles me that one fight of the night, but it did. So the other guy who came in and upset the wild man, who's been known to do a lion salt in the cage, not a joke, actually did it. Jumped on like kind of the side of the cage, grabbed the top, which you're not allowed to do, and then did a backflip onto his opponent. A guy who normally fights at lightweight came in. The other guy missed weight, looked, and just let him do his stupid gymnastics routine after he did a breakdance routine in the middle of the cage while he was being introduced.
This sounds like the sort of thing Jim Cornette would hate.
Yep. Look, Jim Cornette hates a lot of things, and I don't blame him. A lot of things suck. That was a thing again. Gaethje knocks out Cerrone in the first round. Glover Teixeira defeats Nikita Krylov via split decision. Meh. Todd Duffy and Jeff Hughes was terrible heavyweights that went to a no contest after about 4 minutes after Todd Duffy got poked in the eye, sort of.
Aw.
Todd Duffy's terrible. Uriah Hall beat Antonio Carlos Jr. via split decision. No issues with 29-28 for either guy. Misha Serkinov hit only the second Peruvian necktie in UFC history and submitted Jimmy Crute in the first round.
Peruvian necktie, wow.
It's a rarity.
It is.
On the prelims...
Did anyone bust out a Von Fluke choke?
No, there was no Von Flue this evening.
Aw.
On the prelims, Augusto Sakai knocked out Marcin Tybura in about a minute. It was the kind of heavyweight fight Mark would have been happy with. And look, this was a one-fight card with a couple of other fights on it that you might think, hey, that might be pretty good. And a few of the ones you thought, hey, that might be pretty good, were okay. We all watched Cerrone and Gagey Insanity, and that's what we got. Was, for the 4 minutes or so of that fight. And I was happy with it.
So, according to Deontay Wilder's wiki, yes, his next fight is against Luis Ortiz, but no date has been set and no location. However, he is set to fight Tyson Fury February 22nd, 2020.
Yeah, that's apparently basically a done deal.
Okay.
As far as that's going to be, that those two are going to fight at that point in time.
Okay.
Kind of regardless of what happens between now and then. But who knows? It's boxing. Contract negotiations are a weird thing. And Tyson Fury, you beautiful ham of a man. just hamming this up. I don't know, but I don't know if this is the best or the worst thing.
Well, at least he's not sitting on a couch smoking a cigar with George Foreman.
Watch him come out to that next time. He'll get George. He'll just be on the couch. They'll be lit up with the stogies, and they'll be dragged to the ring on a rolling couch.
He has to say, who were you expecting?
Okay. I'm not sure entirely what this is in reference to, but okay.
Well, because again, Klitschko did it.
Yeah. Klitschko did a lot of things.
Yes, mostly bored the audience.
And it's because the audience is mostly people like you. I mean, again, I'm surprised you're not eating up his entrance more, because this seems right up your alley.
Oh, I'm fine with this. I wish... my problem is I don't feel like it's enough. I feel like if you're going to do this, you need to, we need to have, he should have been followed by a full, mariachi band.
Okay, you're complaining that they are not detracting from the space they can sell seats to build an entrance ramp.
Right.
Okay. Which is a stupid thing, sell more tickets.
No, they're in the T-Mobile Center. The WWE's played there a bunch of times. Use that setup.
Yeah. WWE also, because of their setup, reduces the amount of seating available.
Seats, schmeats. I want a circus.
Look, and the people in charge want to make money. If they can sell another 1,000 tickets because of their setup, then they're going to do that, and they're going to make all that money.
I don't think if next year that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury should even use the same entrance. I think you should build one on either side of the arena. I want Deontay Wilder to ride an elephant to the ring.
Why?
Because I do. I want him to come to the ring like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America.
There's no way he even knows what that is.
And then I want Tyson Fury to come out the other side, I don't know, preceded by an army of stormtroopers and have him decked out in all black with a mask.
Yeah, and then you want Mike Tyson to run in with a steel chair. I know how your brain works.
Well, I hadn't thought of that, but that's brilliant.
Look, I don't know how your brain wraps around what you actually want, but I know what it is. You want something that is as overproduced as WWE up until everything hits the cage. Then you want it to, as closely as possible, approximate actual violence, but with your ability to just go, oh, I know they're actually friends and nothing bad is really happening.
No, that's not true. Because
I'm pretty sure it's true.
No. You were right up until then. I want to see a Triple H-esque at WrestleMania entrance. Okay? I want to see nonsense, chicanery, and circus folk. I want bearded ladies, strong men. I want circus geeks. I want British men biting the heads off bats, the whole 9 yards. But when they get in there, I want them to punch each other silly.
Yeah, and then you also want the occasional run-in, the dusty finish. You want the ability to make sure the guys you like stay on top.
It's hard with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I like Deontay Wilder. I want to see him show his way to...
no reason you should like Deontay Wilder. He's so bad.
I want to see Deontay Wilder show his way to further victories, and I pictured Deontay Wilder diving into his money vault full of gold coin.
He is... No. Look, he's not that good with his money. I guarantee you he does not even have,
Have you seen his ruffled shirts? Maybe that's what they should do. Maybe instead of coming in a la Coming to America, he should come in like a pirate.
Considering that he just, straight up wore that stupid Seinfeld shirt. From, 30 years ago.
That'd be fun. Can we do that? Can we do, a Pirates of the Caribbean theme entrances for both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury?
I'm sure they can, but they won't.
Oh,
nor should they.
Life is unfair. All right, I believe we've killed an appropriate amount of time as these fighters.
The fighters are actually getting their instructions now.
We know how to kill time. Here we go, round 1.
I know how to kill a lot of things.
So, Wallin's... Just no sound.
I was hoping you would do something with it.
Nope, the volleyball fell to the ground. So Wallin starts off flicking the jab out there. Tyson Fury just sort of pawing it away.
Yeah, that's something of an odd choice from Wallin, given that he's southpaw. They're in opposite stances, and the jab against the opposite stance fighter is less effective, actually, than just the rear hand lead as a punch. It's not that it's a bad punch necessarily, but it's less of a thing given some of the angles.
The Tyson Fury just grabbed the top rope there. What do you make of that?
It's Tyson Fury. He's weird. His fights are weird.
Yeah.
It's not a Tyson Fury fight without weirdness.
This is true.
And again, both guys, just kind of pawing with the jab. They're just kind of range finding thus far and trying to get a read on each other more than really trying to do a tremendous amount of damage.
Tyson Fury just stuck his hand on Wallin's nose. Wallin backs him into the corner. Ties up.
Fury's one of those heavyweights who's actually comfortable fighting off the back foot. He's very sound defensively. He's not afraid to be on the ropes. He likes making guys miss and countering. He likes showing off that he is the superior boxer. And he is to, again, basically the entire division.
They tie up again.
If this is a significant portion of Wallin's game plan, is just we're going to tie up and try to wear this guy down, I got some bad news for you, man. That is deeply unlikely to work. Also, the size disparity. And it's not just height. I mean, Tyson Fury's 6'9". I believe Wallin is 6'6.5" or 6'7".
Wallin's a leaner man than Tyson Fury. Tyson, especially in the chest area, is very thick.
Yeah. They look like they're a weight class apart, and they're not.
Yeah, Wallin doesn't look like a heavyweight.
No, he does look a bit more like a cruiserweight when standing next to Fury. But a lot of people, just given the dimensions of Tyson Fury, when they get next to him, actually look like they shouldn't be in his weight class. Wallin, we can see here, really struggling when they're at distance to do a whole lot with Fury. He's not landing much.
He had a bit of a flurry there for a moment, but I don't know how effective it was. And that is the end of round 1. It's a tough round to score.
I'm giving it to Fury. I mean, again, is he the most dynamically offensive fighter? No, but what did Wallin do? Apart from get punched.
Yeah, I guess.
And miss. He got punched and he missed. I'm sorry, you lose the round.
Yeah, I can't... I want to give it a 10-10, but the fact of the matter was Tyson Fury hit him, and Wallin didn't really do a tremendous amount of damage, so sure, 10-9.
Again, some of these, and this is kind of just how Tyson Fury fights. It's a little bit awkward. It's very unengaging in a lot of respects, but he's also going to make you... He's going to fight until you give him things, and then he's going to capitalize on them. That's just kind of what he does.
Speaking of unengaging, if you check out our Bloodsport commentary, very disappointing outing from Nick Gage. He wasn't shot out of a cannon nor dropped from the ceiling.
Wait a minute. Nick, wait, did you say Cage or Gage?
Nick Gage.
The CZW guy?
Yes.
What's he doing in Bloodsport? That man can't wrestle.
That is correct, sir.
He's a stunt man.
You are correct,
and look,
sir.
if that's what you want to watch, fine.
He got submitted. He got submitted rather quickly by Killer Cross, and then acted like the man cheated.
How dare you wrestle?
And then he beat up a referee. All right,
that's very on brand.
Yeah, Wallin effectively working that jab this round. And when I say effectively, he's moving Tyson around the ring, but again, Tyson Fury,
not landing.
Yeah,
he's throwing it, but he's not landing.
It looks really nice. It's just not hitting any targets.
Fury doing a bit of stance switching here, which he does on occasion. It's a bit of an oddity to see a lot of that in boxing, just because if you're not as good from the other stance, you put yourself at a severe disadvantage. But Fury playing around a little bit with southpaw here and continuing to box Wallin up a little bit.
It's weird they put this fight in Vegas. I don't know how crowd pleasing this would be for a Vegas crowd. This seems like a European fight.
Well, some of it's also, look, Vegas kind of sucks. Vegas crowds see so much that if you're dealing with like the average Vegas crowd, they're not that engaged. They only show up for the main event. There's a lot of other stuff to do. But if you go out of your way to make it a destination kind of moment, like, hey, look, Tyson Fury is fighting in Vegas, then people will go out of their way to go because they also know that Vegas is a place you can do things beyond watch the fight. Fury now really dialing in his counter left. He's caught Wallin a couple of times coming in with it, and Wallin doesn't have an answer other than to push even closer and try to tie up.
Yeah, Wallin pushed him into the corner again. Yeah, Tyson fought out of it, though.
Yeah, Tyson, not bad, again, either in the corner or off the ropes. It's not ideal, but he can fight there.
I think Wallin thinks that if he can get him in the corner, he'll limit the amount of space Tyson has to evade, and he'll eventually score something. So far, that's been ineffectual.
Look, the only thing he's been scoring is a couple of punches to the hips. Like, he's not doing anything of actual note to Fury. And anytime Fury wants to, he's able to hit him. He's starting to catch him with uppercuts when Wallin tries to clinch because Wallin doesn't have another idea other than clinching and then getting hit.
Oh, look at how spry Tyson Fury is as he jogs to his corner, ending round 2.
For a man of his size, he's very light on his feet.
So right before the round ended, he scored with like a double, I believe it was a double left. I want to say it's coming up again in the replay. Yep, left, right. Those were pretty big hits for that round.
Yeah, Tyson is just, as everyone expected thus far, a significant class above the level of his opponent here. I mean, assuming the fight continues at this pace and things go as they normally do in Fury fights, I'm going to be surprised if this gets to the 7th round.
So, according to the stats, Wallin has actually landed 20 body punches to Tyson's 1.
A lot of that depends on how they choose to categorize landed and where they draw the line for the... Again, he's landed like on the belt line, so again, towards the hips and whatnot a fair bit, but...
Apparently they're counting those.
I mean, they are a thing. Like, getting hit in the hips sucks. It can limit your mobility. But at the same time, again, as a long-term strategic weapon, it's valuable. As a method of actually stopping a fighter, no.
I mentioned
Plus,
this.
they also kind of will give partial credit for body blows, even if they're somewhat deflected by the arms, which I'm not sure how that. Again, I'm not sure how that entirely plays out on the for the statisticians and whatnot, but I'm not sure I count those.
So Wallin, speaking of body punches deflected by arms, tried to land 2 of those, and then the ref backed them off for some odd reason. They weren't tied up or anything. Not really sure why he got in there.
We can see Fury also starting to dial in his uppercut. Okay, the reason he separated them was Wallin put his hands on the back of Fury's head and was kind of leaning on him, which you are not allowed to do.
Okay. So I mentioned to Pat one of the prelim fights on the Arislandi Lara fight over last weekend on Fox was a heavyweight, and one of the heavyweights was a rather large, rotund man whose shorts kept falling down. They had to stop the fight momentarily for him to pull the shorts up over his ass crack. You should find this fight and watch it.
I would rather drop a anvil on my foot.
There was a lot of comments on it on Twitter. I literally DVR'd this thing. I wanted to watch the Arislandi Lara match, but when I saw the comments on Twitter about this guy's ass crack, I was like, I have to see this for myself. It was well worth the wait.
I'm not sure why you went through the effort of DVRing it.
Because I couldn't watch it live?
Still. That does not seem like a thing that needs to be viewed. Okay, Fury again continuing to just outbox Wallin comprehensively. His counter power hand punch, whether that's left or right, depending on his stance, is really dialed in, and Wallin's reaction to this seems to be, I'm going to pump the jab and get punched.
Has Tyson Fury's right eye been blackened? Or is it just the way he's standing? Because it looks darker.
Maybe. I mean, again, he's not, his defense, while very good, is not impervious. And you can see some damage starting to come through on the face of Wallin.
Yeah, I want to see what the cut man does in the corner here. Yeah, I think you're going right to that. Yep, he's got a cut above the eye. A nasty one, too. That's gross.
There was a bit of a clash of heads when they punched into the clinch, and then Wallin's head just kind of caught him on the eyebrow there.
Wow, he's got a really bad cut.
And which is Wallin's best chance of victory.
There you go, kids. If you're ever not as good as your opponent in a boxing match, try a headbutt.
Well, I meant a cut, not necessarily an illegal one, but
You figure you take the admonishment from the headbutt, but then he's got a cut that you can play with.
Yeah, again, that is a nasty cut. And if it stops the fight, it should be a no contest, given how it happened. We'll see it in a replay.
They're letting it continue for now.
Well, there was it might have been a punch, actually. My mistake. That was just a clean left hook. My mistake. I thought their heads did come up next to each other, but I don't think they really clashed. That was more of a clean left punch than anything else. My apologies to Wallin for,
misrepresenting him.
I just didn't see it very clearly.
Dragging his name through the mud.
That's why we have replay.
Shaming him and yourself.
I mean, I could do that if you'd like.
No. Let's see here.
But again, Wallin's best bet now is to try and attack that if he gets close, to kind of rub his glove against it, open it up, make it worse. That's his.
He's trying to really turn it on and go after that cut, but Tyson Fury's still not very hittable.
No, Fury, especially now that he has a very specific target he's going to try and be protecting, is going to do everything he can to avoid that being further exploited.
Wallin goes to the body there again with his right.
Yeah, and he's just barely avoiding these uppercuts when he's coming in that Fury keeps trying to time and line up. Fury talking to him now. Fury is not happy about something.
Maybe he's asking him if he likes meatballs.
I don't know. I feel like that's just a cultural thing. I don't know how much the Swedes actually do care for meatballs or not. Wallin in defense mode now, circling around. Fury more on the attack.
So one of the more effective tools Wallin's been utilizing has been the one punch to the body. I wish he'd follow something else, though. He just sort of sticks it in the body and then moves. And it's like, hey, how about a combination? How about...
He's worried about being countered more than anything. Yeah, we can see Wallin anytime they get close. Now he is trying to land that left to the head to the cut of Tyson Fury. Fury's defense still largely holding up, though, at the moment.
I can't get over how much bigger Tyson Fury is to this guy.
Tyson Fury is a large man. I mean, he's 6'9", and I missed his official weight, but he's not a small person.
I bet it's something stone.
No. They would have announced it in pounds. They're in Vegas.
No, he's British, though, so stones, get it?
I know that stone was a unit of measurement. Yes, I am aware of this fact. Nice counter right from Fury.
And that is the end of the round. At this point, I'm much more interested in what happens when he goes into his corner and how they deal with that eye.
Well, Wallin spent that entire round trying to target it, not really being able to exacerbate things, so I imagine it'll leak for another... It's probably going to keep leaking throughout the fight for however long it goes.
The problem that he has to look for right now is whether or not, if it gets hit too many more times and it really starts to swell to the point where it closes.
Well, the cut actually does kind of help with that, preventing the swelling. It gives a release for the pressure. It is going to swell a bit as the fight goes on, but that doesn't look like it's going to be a huge deal as far as the swelling goes in the immediate future. Plus, he has a very good cut, man, given how he's handled this one so far. It's more kind of swelling out than swelling into the eye. So it will become a bigger target, but is less likely to impair his vision substantially.
Wallin doing a pretty good job of sitting behind that right jab. Left to the body. Tyson spun away from him.
Yeah, with that round that he cut Tyson, and then the way the last round played out, Wallin might have taken a round or two here. We might be even going into the fifth. Would not be the worst scorecard.
I believe my man has it 280-0 Canelo.
Of course.
I can't reach my computer, but somewhere out there, someone's making a dead horse sound.
Again, look, it's a given that at least one boxing judge at any point in time is writing down on their scorecard that Canelo wins every fight. Again, Fury managing risk rather well, again, defending the cut well, and Wallin, he's not here to lose, he's here to make a fight of it, and he's done so thus far. Or at least he's attempted to with intermittent success, is probably a better way to put that. Ooh, Fury with a good right. It's just that, again, Wallin's success is very intermittent, and Fury's is more sustained.
I have to give Wallin credit where credit's due. Fury has thrown some big power punches, and they're not hitting in many cases.
He's doing a good job of blocking or just kind of slipping, and Wallin is doing a good job of avoiding, and Fury's really trying to time an uppercut. Fury's really trying to time an uppercut, and Wallin has managed to avoid that. And again, the man came to fight. That's definitely, he's not here to be a stepping stone. He's here to fight and win.
No, he's trying to upset the Vegas odds here. Walk away with the title. Then he can be the linear heavyweight champion.
He would be the lineal heavyweight champion. Yes.
Then he could rule.
I mean, look, the lineal heavyweight title means as much as any of the other belts that someone is carrying around at any given point in time.
Oh, good thing there's only 106 of them.
It means more than some of them. Again, less than some, more than others, but the number of times that the champion of whatever weight class is actually the best fighter in that division is relatively low. And moreover, again, champions in combat sports tend more to be best of the night rather than best of the season or best ever kind of thing. It's just the nature of the sport and how it's structured. Fury kind of leaning on that right uppercut as this fight has gone on. He really has that kind of. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't adjusted away from it. It's a good punch, especially given how Wallin is trying to close distance, but he might need to set it up better. And it's a small thing too. I mean, it's not that he knows what he's doing, and Wallin is just being able to avoid enough of it to make it miss.
All right, we're going into round 6 here.
I think that last round went to Fury, so he's probably up, but only by a round or two, which, given the odds, is...
It's probably 3-2. Fury.
Yeah. We're, again, 3-2 or 4-1 maybe, but yeah. The one good punch that Wallin landed, and it is still the most significant thing that's happened in the fight.
Oh, Wallin scored with his left there. It was a good left hook.
Yeah, Wallin, his ability to get close and try to make this kind of an ugly fight rather than a boxing match is his only chance of victory.
If this thing goes the distance, I fear the scores are going to be very ugly and weird.
It's boxing, of course they are.
I mean, like, more so than normal.
Look, Canelo fights on the regular. There is nothing more bizarre than normal.
We got a big night of fights coming up. The same night as the Whitaker fight. I think Triple G's fighting somebody.
He is. And Canelo's signed to fight Kovalev in the near future in a giant waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, November 2nd, I believe that fight is.
I mean, really, why bother? Look, Kovalev's worn down. He's just past his prime, which happens to everybody. And they're just going to give Canelo the decision, even if he doesn't actually win the fight. That's how this works at this point, guys. I don't know what else to tell you.
We might be stopping this. It looks like the doctor is going to check out Tyson Fury's eye.
Yeah, again, that's relatively deep and in a fairly bad spot. It'd be a shame if they did, but it's not without precedent.
All right, nope, they're letting it go. I think Fury realizes that if he doesn't stop this fight soon, they might stop it for him because of the eye. So he's going after Wallin now.
Yeah, he's going to put some urgency into this.
Yeah. So yeah, he's sort of leaning forward and opening up with rights and lefts here. I think we're going to see a much more active Tyson Fury now. He knows he's got to finish this. He doesn't.
He's on borrowed time. If that gets any worse, they will stop it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Wallin just locked in a good. Oh, he really likes that front face lock.
It's a way to kind of indicate that you're done with this infighting position because you're not allowed to do it. So it'll just kind of like, oh, hey, we're going to go here, and the ref will break us up.
Yeah.
It's dangerous because again, you are not allowed to lean on your opponent, so repeated instances of it could be cause for a point deduction.
Oh, did you see that? Just as the referee was separating them, Wallin shoved his hand in Tyson Fury's face.
Yeah, Wallin is... Again, he wants to win, and at the moment his only real chance is to make that cut worse. So he's going to do that however he can.
He's poking the badger with a stick.
And Fury, again, very clearly knows he needs to stop this and is really, really opening up.
Yeah, he was digging to the body really good.
Yeah, and Fury is not happy with the dirty tactics of Wallin. Fury's going to really come out in these next couple of rounds and look to end this. Again, he knows that if this gets worse, they will stop it, and he does not want that. He wants to the ref also needs to kind of get a handle on what Wallin is doing, because this is a good referee, all things considered, but he's got to, again, really get a handle on this before it gets out of hand.
So I got to ask you, can they leave that much goop on his face like that? Okay, he just wiped it off. But like every round, it's getting progressively worse.
There's a commission official there watching. If they're not going to complain about it, who the hell am I?
Like, yeah, every round they've left more of a goopy smear on his head, and I was like, I don't think that's legal.
Again, there's a commission official right there who, if he wants, if he doesn't like it, can get it moved.
Wallin's going straight to the face here, and he's starting to score.
Well, again, part of that is Fury is going to be more willing to engage because he feels he needs the stoppage in a timely fashion.
Big hook from Tyson Fury.
And Wallin's whole game plan now is make the cut worse, make the cut worse, make the cut worse.
I don't really like what Tyson Fury's doing with his hands. You want to you're trying to finish this guy. You want to use your power. Stop dropping your hands to your hips. I understand doing it to try to bait the guy in to counterpunch and all of that. We've talked about that in other fights. But I don't know how effective it's going to be here. See, now this I don't mind. He's pushing Wallin into the corner. He's trying to eliminate space between them, and then he's uppercutting using dirty boxing techniques. Yeah,
that's you're going to see a fair bit of that from Fury as this goes on. He's also going to do a lot of manipulation of the referee position. When the referee wants to separate them, he's going to not make it easy. He's going to make sure Wallin is where he wants him before they break. And he's really kind of looking to unload on Wallin at every possible opportunity.
Big right hand from Tyson Fury snaps Wallin's head back.
Yeah, Fury is, again, in a position that he wants the stoppage now for the sake of safety. And he's not playing around. And Wallin is fading a little bit under the offensive onslaught. Wallin was very clearly prepared for the defensive Tyson Fury in some respects. This is not something he was as prepared for as Fury just deciding, okay, I'm done now.
Digging to the body again, going upstairs, smacks him on the chin. Right hook. Right uppercut from Tyson Fury. Every time he does that, I think he's going for a power bomb.
I wish he would. I'm just gonna throw it out there. You know what? If you, we've seen takedowns. We've seen guys, do all kinds of shady stuff like that. I would not hate someone the size of Tyson Fury just grabbing his opponent and heaving them up and then slamming them down as hard as you can.
Tyson Fury seems more of a jackhammer kind of guy.
Just lifting them up and then dropping them.
Yeah. And Tyson Fury roughs him up in the corner. We are in his own corner, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
and
Fury is really looking to rough. He's really not happy with Wallin at this point in time and is looking to just constantly apply damage and pressure to him. And again, Wallin is wilting a little bit under the pressure. he's trying to. We saw a little bit towards the end of that round. He's doing a little bit of the goading Fury on thing. That's generally a sign of I'm out of ideas. Like, okay, yeah, come on, I like this. I want to keep fighting, and then, oh crap, I don't know what to do. Wallin is fading. Whereas Fury is like not even sitting down reliably between rounds. We get some highlights from that round again. Fury, his right hand is a lot more dialed in. He is done playing around and is not happy with Wallin's tactics so far.
A shiner has formed underneath Wallin's left eye.
From the bevy of rights he ate in that round.
We'll see if Tyson continues to work those eyes over, if it becomes a thing in this fight. Wouldn't that be ironic?
There's not really enough time left for that to become too much of a factor unless he is able to throw a lot of damage forward. Which
round 8 here, and Andre's scorecard has a 68-65 Fury.
Yeah, I think that's 4-3. Again, 4-3 or 5-2 for Fury is probably the correct score, all things considered.
You know, the way that Tyson moved there, I honestly thought he was going to throw a right round kick.
Tyson Fury, not much of a kicker.
I understand.
And not just because of the sport. I think even if... Wow, this guy gave Wallin the first. Okay, Andre, you are a moron.
Some good uppercuts there in the corner from Tyson Fury.
Yeah, he's backing... He's doing a lot of backing up Wallin where he wants him. He's the one... Forgive the phrase ring generalship, but he's the one steering the action. He is the ring general thus far. And he's doing a lot... I mean, he's turning Wallin quite nicely in that he will back up... let Wallin come forward and then angle, put him in the corner, and then look to land some blows.
Oh, Tyson walked into a slew of punches there from Wallin. And then he just tilted his head. See, that's what happens. The minute Tyson Fury starts to get in trouble, he just bows his head, drives it into Wallin's chest, and then follows up with hooks.
Yep. Which, given the size disparity, is somewhat impressive, actually, considering, again, to be the bigger guy by, 2 to 3 inches, to get your head down, drive it into your opponent like that, and then tee off to the body, is a heck of a thing. Good right from Fury.
Well, I mean, good on Fury for not fighting, straight up and, being imminently more hittable that way. He the bending over forward like that, not all the way like some of these fighters do, just sort of tilting at the middle of the back. He's able to limit the amount of times Wallin can hit any good targets while counter striking him himself.
Yeah. And again, Fury is, if we're talking just like pure boxing, the best heavyweight boxer. I think right now.
There's so much in the way of great technical heavyweight boxers to compete against, though. It's such a high bar to achieve.
I am, again, this is not an easy thing. There was a lot of debate and internal numerics that went into that, but, yeah. Look, heavyweights suck.
And might I add, Shote.
I mean, you can, but I don't know why you would.
Because Pat said it once, and I can't let it go because it was funny to me.
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
Yep. As you would say, very on brand for me.
It's very true. Plus, Deontay Wilder is Deontay Wilder.
If you're playing the drinking game, take a drink every time we mention Deontay Wilder in a Tyson Fury fight, and you'll have alcohol poisoning by the end of this fight.
Fury landed a pretty good combination there along the corner. Again, Wallin is trying, but he is wilting a little bit here. And the question, I think his big thing at this point, if they're not going to stop the fight due to that cut, and at this point, it would take a visible increase in the cut would have to get worse visibly at some point for the doctor to really need a reevaluation. He's more kind of trying to see out the round, out the fight because Fury is on the warpath.
So we are, in theory, supposed to cover the afternoon fight of Andrew Shelby versus Jay Harris. That may or may not be happening at this point. Depends on what time and if we're meeting my wife's friends at a winery.
I don't know why you would go to a winery. You have children. They wine all the time.
So to be continued.
Serious credit to Tyson Fury's cut man in this fight, though. Just by the way, done a tremendous job.
He is holding that together with spit and bubblegum at this point.
Fury is laying into Wallin this round. He is not playing around. He is on the hunt. Good body shots.
But what an asshole! What an asshole Fury's going to feel like if he loses his title by decision to this guy, who was just supposed to be a place fighter, to keep him busy.
That's the risk in in taking fights like this. The other guy has nothing to lose and is there. He's not, and very rarely is there to lose. They're there to win the biggest fight of their life.
Yep. Him and Anthony, if that happens, him and Anthony Joshua can go to the same support group.
No, because they need. Look, Anthony Joshua is still in denial about his drug problem, whereas Tyson Fury is very aware of his potential pitfalls and issues.
Good uppercut there from Tyson Fury. Yeah. I think Wallin's legs are gone.
Yeah, he is not moving almost at all. I mean, you can see it. If this gets another 2 rounds at this point, I'll be a little bit surprised because he's just not moving well.
He was just admonished by the referee, quit holding the back of his head. He's not giving you a blowjob. And even if he was, that's rude.
I'm sure that's exactly what referee Charles, I believe that's Charles Bird, I might be mistaken, said.
Oh, Tyson Fury is aiming to take this guy's head off. He backs him into the corner. There was some good right and left hooks there.
Yeah,
uppercut barely misses.
Yeah, he's gonna land one of those at this rate, and that's gonna be all she wrote if he lands that uppercut because he is loading up on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the combination seems to be hook, go to the body. Hook, go to the body, and then almost a Mike Tyson's punch out uppercut. And if that thing lands, it's going to end the same way that game would end.
With you in tears because it wasn't fair. Or 5 years later, completely broken by speedrunners.
Not while Wallin's round there. He's looking he's starting to look mentally broken.
Yeah, he is not wanting to be here anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, a few of those body shots winded him a little bit. He didn't go down, but I'm getting some replay action here. They landed.
There was a great uppercut there in the instant replay.
Yeah, Fury wants this one out. He does not want to see the judges on this one. Because he knows that he will not give the lineal heavyweight championship to Canelo like that.
No. Canelo can't have all the belts. Because if he does, he'll snap his fingers and half the people in the universe will disappear.
Look, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy and everyone at DAZN disagree with you. They really want him to have all the belts.
I understand.
So much so that, they've done what they've done as far as a few of those decisions.
Canelo, you can't have the flyweight title. You don't fight in that weight class. I will have all the belts.
Fine, Canelo, you can have that belt too. Good. Now give me that one.
Oh, Jesus. Tyson Fury's just bullying Wallin.
Yeah, he
Take a drink every time I pronounce this guy's name differently.
You will have double alcohol poisoning.
Your liver will be entirely pickled.
Yeah, look, James Bond will look at you and go, a little restraint, my friend. Yeah, Fury is he is not having any more of this fight.
He's walking forward, willing to take punches from this guy just to hit him, and he's scoring big time.
And Wallin is, again, not move. His legs are not really under him. He's crossing his feet. He's just using the ropes to help support his weight.
Mm-hmm. And all the credit in the world to him. I mean, we're into round 10 here, and the guy's still standing. He hasn't gone down once. So
again, Fury's not a big puncher as far as heavyweight punchers go, and Wallin's defense has been okay. But, he gets credit for trying, but he's starting to put on his angry face. And when you start psyching yourself up with the angry face, you're in dire straits. Like, okay, come on, we can do this. Nope, you're getting punched again. And, it's not. He is not moving well at all. Like, at all. That's distressing.
Big right hook from Tyson nearly in the clinch there. A lot of dirty boxing from Tyson, but it's paying off for him.
Hang on. Not all of it's dirty. A lot of it's just been infighting in the clinch, which is a legal thing.
Okay, fair enough.
And dirty boxing encompasses a wide variety of illegal holds. What he's doing is...
Wallin is getting hooked at will.
Yeah.
What Tyson Fury is doing is he's completely eliminating the space between them, leaning forward, and then delivering those hooks. And Wallin hasn't figured out how to protect the side of his head.
Well, Wallin's also winded because Fury is, as you said, leaning his weight on and making him carry him. And Tyson Fury, as we have mentioned, is a large person. Having to carry around that extra weight while you're trying to move and you're already fatigued and you're getting punched in the face, it's just a bad night. Wallin might hang on to see the judges, but Fury is really wanting him out of there. And again, I don't blame him. There's no reason to trust the judges because judging in combat sports is, even at its best, inherently flawed, and given the amount of corruption that goes into it in a lot of cases, deliberately misleading. Yeah, Wallin is... He's holding out for the moral victory of seeing the final round and having cut Fury at this point. He is not offering much beyond that.
Well, at this point, I'm not frightened that some crazy judge is going to give it to Wallin. I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury has won enough of the last few rounds significantly that we're done scoring things for Wallin. He can't win this fight by decision.
He could be the Swedish Canelo. Come on.
There's no money in pushing a Swedish champion.
That is, at this point in time, very true. However, that doesn't mean they wouldn't try.
I don't know about the pitch on that one.
I don't know. We're supposed to be trying to model our entire society after Sweden. Why wouldn't we want a heavyweight champion from there?
Oh, shut up, you and your politics. Go start your own political podcast if you're going to do that.
Nah, I just like needling you on occasion.
You can hear me talk all about the basic income guarantee on the Polynix podcast, which you can hear on Podcoin or wherever you download podcasts, coming soon. This guy who is very low-key interviewing me thought I was wildly entertaining.
Well, to the low-key individuals in the world, you are.
I warned him ahead of time. I said, I'm going to introduce myself as the hardest working man in podcast. Be ready. I'm quite the card.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a card, all right. If it's a tarot deck, it would be the Fool.
His exact response was, just don't be racist. And I'm like, oh, that won't be a problem.
He's clearly never listened to our other shows.
Yeah, or been involved in our chats. All right, uppercut there from Tyson Fury, followed by another one. Scores
there's
big.
Just more of the same.
I'm wondering if that not been on the ropes, if Wallin would have actually fell down.
Probably.
That looked bad.
Yeah, Fury finally finds the uppercut consistently here, and Wallin's lucky that he's against the ropes now, because he is not having a good time.
So, but that's the weird thing is, at this point, Tyson Fury should maybe try to keep him in the center instead of pushing him into the ropes, because that's half the problem here. See, there it is again. Tyson Fury just bullies him backwards. and this guy's got no legs left, so he's going wherever Tyson pushes him.
Well, some of it's that. Some of it's Wallin also just being willing to go onto the ropes. Like, he kind of wants to be there. I mean, his defensive options are limited, but he can rest his legs a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a 50-50 proposition there. If Fury steps back and says, come into the center of the ring, and Wallin kind of goes, no, I like the ropes. These are my friends.
Here's the problem, though. Every time he goes against the ropes, he takes a hook to the head. Clean.
Yeah, but he's also, I think, fairly obviously not terribly concerned about Fury's one-punch punching power. So if he can limit that to one shot at a time, he will. But, yeah, Wallin is...
I fucking hate every time Tyson Fury drops his hands.
I'm sure you do. Again, it's just kind of how he does. I mean, I hate saying it like that because it's stupid. Like you would never teach someone to carry their hands the way he does.
Right. And I get why he does it. I get that he's had success with it. Aesthetically, it looks shitty.
That is true. And, body shot from Fury. That hurt Wallin. That really did. Those are starting to add up. And Wallin is, again, very happy that the ropes are here. He's going to be buying them dinner. Like, these are his friends. I live here now because I can't hold myself up.
I'm on the ropes. Wolverine's in a treehouse. It's all very, very sad.
I don't understand that reference.
It's a source material joke.
Fair enough. Yeah, Wallin is just kind of hoping to see the final bell here.
We've been talking considerably about Wolverine's treehouse during Onslaught Month, which you can listen to on the Source Material podcast right here on the Radulich Broadcasting Network, on Podcoin, or wherever you download podcasts.
And please do, despite Onslaught being terrible.
Jesus.
Yeah, replay of that left to the liver that kind of doubled Wallin over. That hurt. Jeez, that hurt me, and I'm just watching it. If you've never been hit clean in the liver by someone, guys, it's an experience. And I'm not even talking anyone 1/8 as talented as Tyson Fury.
It'll drop you.
I mean, Mark gets hit in the liver all the time when he's at work because everyone hates him.
I'll have you know I'm the team lead, whether they like it or not.
That does not in any way refute my claim that they dislike you. If anything, you added to it.
Oh, no. If that's all you're saying is that I'm disliked at work. You're 100% right. I have one person at work referring to me as rock star in the most sarcastic way possible.
Fair enough.
It's because I actually do my job. And a lot of it.
Good for you. Actually doing your job, whereas they're kind of just hanging out. Linga landed a pretty good left there.
Yeah, it did.
Unfortunately, lacks both the energy and the wherewithal to follow up appropriately, and Fury is now recovered. Fury might...
I was going to say, Wallin seems to have gotten some life back into him.
He's got a bit of a second wind now, and I think facilitating that is Fury kind of taking this first half of the round or so off.
Well, there's a minute and about 20 seconds left, as I call it on the clock. And I think Wallin is just, trying to get the moral victory here by going the distance and having a good showing in this final round. I don't see this ending any other way but decision, though.
Yeah, this is not a swing. Winning this round is not going to win him the fight.
No.
But, yeah, Fury seems to have backed off. I don't know if he just doesn't want to expend the energy at this point that would be necessary to really kind of get Wallin out of there.
We're down to our last 10 seconds, and they're not roadhousing, so I think we're done here.
Again, I can only realistically imagine scorecards in favor of Fury. Because while Wallin did better than everyone expected him to, the drama was... Yeah, again, the drama was caused by a singular punch that opened up a cut.
I say throw him an Intercontinental title bout.
I'm sure there's at least two who would be two of those champions that are unoccupied and willing to fight him at any given point in time.
Absolutely. One thing I've learned about watching boxing in the middle of the day from Europe, there's plenty of Intercontinental title bouts.
Yep. And Fury, again, spends these last couple of seconds just walking things down, but again, Wallin definitely overperformed and took a beating for a lot of rounds in the middle portion there.
Tyson Fury looks like he's been in a horror movie.
And really, that's just one cut. And
yeah, it's not like he got tremendously beat up everywhere else. It's not like his other eye got a tremendous beating. It's like that one cut that he got just bothered him for more than half the fight.
Oh, and he's wearing the white. He's also wearing the white tights, so it shows up more.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying, like, I don't see him tremendously bruised up anywhere else. So it's like that one cut. But that one cut bled so much that, again, he looked like he went through the windshield until they cleaned it up.
Yeah, again, just a lot of blood, a lot of wounds in your face, and especially the more they get kind of towards your head, they just bleed a lot, even if they're, surface cuts. I mean, you don't need a large cut to bleed a lot, and that is a large cut on Fury. Like, that's a real cut. That's a gnarly one.
Wasn't that a Meatloaf song? I don't need a large cut to bleed a lot.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard a full Meatloaf song.
And I don't need a large cut to bleed a lot, and I won't do that. It's a long way to go for that joke, by the way. Like, I'm ashamed of myself.
Yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed for you.
And if you enjoy this brand of humor, and really, why wouldn't you? You can download all of the Radulich and Broadcasting Network podcasts on Podcoin or wherever you download podcasts, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, wherever you download podcasts.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Can't quite get rid of us, even though you want to.
If you're downloading us on iTunes, please give us a 1-star review.
Just the one.
Just the one. We don't.
That's all.
Everyone
That's
else
all we
asks,
deserve.
Everyone else asks for 5 stars. Give us 1.
We deserve 1. Come on. Fury taking off his fight shorts now. I assume because his balls are hot.
Oh my God! I would pay money for that.
What?
Derek Lewis versus Tyson Fury in a hot balls contest.
Look, much like everything Derek Lewis tries to do, it would fail miserably up until the final second.
They just raised Tyson Fury's hand, but I don't know what the scores are yet. I don't know if it was just sort of a nonchalant, yeah, we know you won, but we haven't actually heard what the final results are.
Hang on for just a second. I don't think they announced them.
Okay.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone announcing them just yet. They just said Fury via unanimous decision.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I did not get I don't have a numerical tally.
If you can maybe if you can find it on Twitter, just read it. Just kind of cut me off and read it when you find it. In the meantime, if you haven't heard our Bloodsport show, and really you should, I'll go over what we're doing next. This week on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, we've got Onslaught Volume 3. Myself and this man, have an afternoon show, Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. And then in the evening, myself, Chris Bailey, and some of your friends and mine will review WWE Clash of the Champions. We might even be reviewing AAA Invades Madison Square Garden because Cain
one of those will actually be a good show.
Only one.
And it's not going to be WWE's. Oh, there's 2 cuts on Fury. He's got the big one over the eyebrow and one kind of under it.
It wasn't a big deal though, that one. was a little dinky cut.
Yeah, but that's the one that will leak into your eye. The other one's more likely to just kind of go down the side of your face.
And then on the Metal Hammer of Doom this week, we've got Tarja in the Raw.
So hang on. It's actually taking Cain Velasquez to get you into lucha wrestling.
Yep, that's exactly what it took.
That is pathetic. I'm genuine. Hang on. I say that just because, given your love of the circus, how can you not love Lucha Libre?
It has to be on the right channel. Like I might Impact going on Access TV will make me watch Impact.
Oh God, no, don't. I look. I say this as someone who has reviewed I am now like the.
So wait,
the
I don't understand something. So you had to review an Impact show at the same time there was another Impact show. How the fuck did that work?
Do you want me to try and explain how Impact is run?
No, not really.
Because the answer is badly. Okay, look, here's how this works. Actually, in this instance, it was not run at the same time. The event Larry was covering ended as the lead-in to what I covered.
So why didn't he just do both?
Because Larry has a life. There's only so much Impact one can take before you go insane.
The only reason I'm not really mad about this is I actually passed out during that fight on DAZN last night. I wouldn't have been much use anyway.
Look, again, Larry has other things he wants to do. He has stuff to do with his family on occasion, and I'm now like the gopher for, hey, we need someone to cover Impact's taped television show.
So they didn't run concurrently? They ran one right after the other?
Yeah, they have run at the same time in the past. That's a thing that has happened.
Okay, that's what I thought was happening, and I was like, that seems silly to counter-program yourself. It doesn't matter. No one listening to this gives a shit about Impact. No one who watches Impact gives a shit about Impact.
That is true.
On Thursday, myself and Sean Comer will review The Dark Crystal, the original 1980s movie. As I said before, we may or may not be still doing I think I called him something else earlier. Andrew Shelby versus Jay Harris. It'll all depend if I'm knee-deep in local wine or not. You can check out the first 2 volumes of Onslaught on the Source Material podcast. You can check out myself and Robert Winfree reviewing Hannibal Season 3. We did a whole bunch of wrestling shows earlier this month. New Japan Royal Quest, NXT UK Cardiff, and AEW All Out. We reviewed the new Killswitch Engage. We did a pair of Legion shows, one for Season 3 and one for X-Men Legacy Volume 2. If you've enjoyed this alternative commentary for live boxing, then check out our UFC 242 Khabib versus Poirier coverage. That's it for the sports coverage, though, for the rest of the month. Like I said, if we do Shelby versus Harris, that'll be the last one. Otherwise, this is it. Because I won't be home for Errol Spence versus... Damn it. Sean Porter. Because I have a life, too, god damn it. And I'm going to go to my friend's house and have fun. And then Gennady Golovkin is the same night as Whitaker versus... Adesanya, and as Robert tells me, leave him the hell alone so he can enjoy the violence with his pants off. So
I am so looking forward to that fight. I mean, look, we just got through Cowboy versus Gagey. I have to look forward to something else, and Adesanya versus Whitaker is a great fight. So I'm going to be using the knowledge of that fight to sustain me as I deal with mountains of crap.
So I want to watch Whitaker versus Adesanya too, but you're not covering it with me, and since I'm watching it, I can't cover Triple G versus Derevchenko, which pisses me off. But
the horror.
The horror.
So hang on. If I were covering it with you, what would you be doing? Like, how would that change the math there?
I would be covering something.
Oh, and now you're just having to watch something just to watch it?
Waste of a night.
That is beyond pathetic.
Such a life. We've got the final Onslaught volume coming up. A review of Rambo, Last Blood, Korn, The Nothing, Disenchantment Season 3. We've got a pair of Gotham by Gaslight shows.
Hang on. Two, yeah, there's only been the one season.
Yes. And then we've got Hell Yeah, Welcome Home, BH 90210, and then we're out of September and into October, kicking things off with all things Joker and Pennyworth.
Both of those things suck.
Speaking of which, you can also check out my review of She-Ra Season 3 with Alexis Hana of Honeysuckle Rose Creations. So that's all from the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. You want to quick do your plugs?
Yeah, I just got done with prior to recording this, I got done with coverage of UFC Fight Night, UFC on ESPN Plus 16, headlined by Donald Cerrone and Justin Gagey. You can find my full report for that entire event in the MMA Zone of 411mania.com. Stop by, give it a click, give it a read. I appreciate it.
All right.
Hang on. Sunday, you can find me. I think I'm flying solo this Sunday. I believe Jeff has a prior engagement. I'll be reviewing that event and then previewing UFC on ESPN Plus 17, which is not a good card, on the 411 Ground and Pound MMA podcast. So tune in for that. If you're interested in the sport, always appreciated. If you know someone who's into the sport, even if you don't like them, point them in my direction. That might make it better because I will annoy them.
And you can listen to Robert's show on Podcoin. Well, if you don't really want to listen to the show, you listen to it on Podcoin. At least then you're getting paid too. It's not a waste of everyone's time.
I mean, it still kind of is, but at least you're being rewarded for wasting your time.
Exactly, folks. I not only can't stress this enough, I'm going to play an ad for it. Hey, everybody. I really do hope you love the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. Did you know that you can actually get paid just for listening to this podcast? I know it sounds insane, but it's true. We just discovered this free new app called Podcoin, and it literally pays you to listen to podcasts. Here's how it works. You listen to podcasts, and you earn Podcoin while you listen. Then you turn that Podcoin in for gift cards at places like Amazon or Starbucks, or if you're a good person, you could even donate that Podcoin to charity. The more you listen, the more you earn. Here's what you do. Download the app right now on iPhone or Android, and I have a special code for you. Simply use our code MARKWED5. That's capital MARKWED 5. Capital MARKWED 5. MARKWED 5. And you'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up. And if you listen to enough of us on there, you can get a cappuccino at Starbucks or an Amazon gift card on us. So go ahead and go listen to this podcast or virtually any podcast on Podcoin and sign up with code MARKWED5. I swear it'll change the way you listen to podcasts. All right, you got anything else you want to plug?
Again, our review of Dark Crystal Age of Resistance that will be coming out on Tuesday. I think that's about it for me at the moment, so thank you all very much for listening. It's deeply appreciated. However you find us, please give us a follow. Give us a crappy review, because, let's face it, that's what we deserve.
You can at me on Twitter and tell me how horrible I am at Mark Radulich.
Please do.
Twitter is my home for terrible ideas I put into the universe to see if God will sprinkle some water on them and they'll blossom into terrible things.
People, you have no idea how true that statement is if you've not listened to other shows. He pitched an adaptation of the crossover between Huckleberry Hound and Green Lantern as envisioned by whoever that guy was who did, like, The Wire.
David Simon.
Thank you. That's the kind of stuff he puts on Twitter. It is terrible. It is making the world a worse place. Shame him for it.
Please, at me on Twitter and tell me how terrible we all really are. With that lovely sentiment said, thank you for joining us on our alternative commentary for Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin me, Otto Wallin you. Otto Wallin out of here. Be well, be safe.
At least you amuse yourself. There's that.
Be well, be safe, and behave.